Hey everyone, it's Mandy. I'm here with another episode of the Reclaiming Wellness series. Thus far, we've talked about what it means to decolonize wellness and the importance that self-care has in bettering our communities. We've also discussed why we believe the stories that we believe and how to counter the lies that we tell ourselves. Now, it's time to bring it all together. When people talk about improving their wellness, they're often referring to their diet, exercise, or perhaps even their mental health. While these are all areas of wellness, they're not actually all the areas of wellness. There are actually 7 dimensions of wellness in total. Knowing more about each of them will help us bring together everything we've learned so far so that we can begin to make positive changes in our lives and the lives of those around us. As we previously discussed, there are many forms of self-care. Contrary to what society will teach you, however, self-care isn't meant to be a luxury and it isn't meant to cost money. Self-care is a necessity that can be integrated into our lives in a variety of ways. When one aspect of our wellness is not being addressed, the negative aspects spill onto the other aspects of our life. Therefore, it is so important to assess each dimension of wellness in our lives regularly and understand the role that they play in our successes. Today, we're going to be talking about the first 4 dimensions of wellness. The first dimension of wellness that we're going to be talking about is called social wellness. Social wellness focuses on connecting with your community and the people around you, which includes being aware of your own social and cultural background as a bridge to understand the diversity and depth present in other backgrounds. This dimension encourages taking an active part in improving your communities, connecting with others, establishing supportive social networks, developing meaningful relationships, and creating safe and inclusive spaces. Here are some reflection questions for you to assess your own social wellness. Do you have an interest in the betterment and well-being of people? Do you make an effort to keep in touch with supportive friends and family? Have you considered pursuing a hobby or getting involved in a club that ignites your passions? Have you reflected on the significance of your own culture and upbringing? And lastly, do you find excitement in learning about other cultures? If you answered yes to any of these are all aspects of social wellness. With social wellness, a person is able to maintain meaningful relationships with others, understand their social and cultural backgrounds, adapt to various social situations, and contribute to the welfare of their community. Here are some tips for how to optimize your own social wellness. Cultivate healthy relationships. Contact old friends and try your best to make new friends. Get involved. Contribute to your community. And lastly, share your talents and skills with the world. The next dimension of wellness is called emotional wellness. Emotional wellness encompasses optimism, self-esteem, self-acceptance, and the ability to express and cope with feelings independently and interpersonally. Emotional wellness includes practicing self-care, fostering inner resources and resiliency, finding unique ways of coping with stressors, creating satisfying relationships, empathizing with others, being realistic about expectations and time, and knowing when to ask for help. Here are a few questions for you to mull over your own emotional wellness. Have you ever encouraged yourself to stay positive in the face of defeat? Are you able to notice the tingle and glow of joy that fills your body each time you laugh? Do you seek or accept help from others when you need it? Do you frequently practice gratitude for life's wonders? Have you ever taken a pause to be present and mindful of your surroundings? Are you able to accept mistakes as a necessary component of progress? If you answered yes to any of these are aspects of emotional wellness. With emotional wellness, a person is able to cope effectively with stress, develop awareness of personal feelings and the feelings of others, think positively about themselves and others, make decisions by integrating their thoughts, feelings, behaviors, values, and desires into the equation, and form healthy relationships with others. Here are some tips for how to optimize your own emotional wellness. Tune into your thoughts and feelings. Seek and provide support. Learn stress management techniques and deal with anger constructively. And last but not least, accept and forgive yourself. The next dimension of wellness is intellectual wellness. Intellectual wellness encourages participating in mentally stimulating and creative activities. Improving intellectual wellness can happen both in and out of the classroom. It is the ability to think critically, reason objectively, make responsible decisions, explore new ideas and different points of view. It also emphasizes lifelong learning and inspires some curiosity. Here are some reflection questions for you to assess your own intellectual wellness. Is there a new book that you have wanted to read? Have you pushed yourself to explore outside of your comfort zone? Do you consider yourself a creative person? Do you like to ask a lot of questions? Do you like discovering new things or learning about what makes the world tick? Do you appreciate art or consider yourself a lifelong learner? If you answered yes to any of these are all aspects of intellectual wellness. With intellectual wellness, a person is able to challenge themselves and use their intellectual abilities, encourage creative mental activity, expand their knowledge of themselves and the world around them, and lessen idle thoughts of boredom. Here are some tips for how to optimize your own intellectual wellness. Take a course or workshop. Learn or perfect a foreign language. Seek out people who challenge you intellectually. Attend a museum, exhibit, or theater. And lastly, learn to appreciate art. The final dimension that we will be discussing today is physical wellness. Physical wellness is not merely the absence of illness, but about maintaining a thriving lifestyle. This area of wellness includes adopting healthy habits such as routine medical exams, immunizations, safety precautions, adequate sleep, a balanced diet, regular exercise, and more. It's also about minimizing or avoiding risky behaviors such as alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. Most importantly, physical wellness is about discovering what healthy habits make you feel better and suit your lifestyle and level of mobility and fitness. Here are some reflection questions for you to assess your own physical wellness. Do you choose daily alternatives that promote movement, such as taking the stairs instead of the elevator if you're able, or stretching your body after long periods of stillness? Do you empower yourself to take a pause from work, school, or other life duties when you're feeling yourself getting ill? Are you mindful of the food that you put in your body and the energy that it provides you? Do you generally get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night? Have you ever chosen a healthy alternative to life stressors rather than one that might harm your body? Do you prioritize your safety? If you answered yes to any of these are all aspects of physical wellness. With physical wellness, a person is able to take initiative to reduce risk and prevent injury, be active and informed regarding personal healthcare decisions, learn to recognize warning signs when their body begins to feel ill, and curb or eliminate harmful practices to your body. Here are some tips for how to optimize your own physical wellness. Eat healthy foods as much as possible. Get adequate rest. Protect yourself against injuries. And lastly, learn to recognize the early signs of illness. In our next video, we'll be talking about the next 3 dimensions of wellness. For now, though, remember that wellness is a necessity, not a luxury. Wellness is attainable regardless of your monetary income or your position in life. You just have to recognize the ways that you can implement it in your own. I hope that you'll join me again for part 2 of this video to learn the remaining dimensions of wellness and how to assess and incorporate it in your own lives. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.